trouble actually wrapping their head around the best of two system. It's sorry for my microphone there. It's basically two best of ones played right after each other because it's easier to schedule them. So we end up with a best of two, which for the league doesn't mean anything because the first map counts for 3 points if you win it, and the second map does the same. So if the team split with a 1-to-1 split on the maps, they still both get points. It's not like in football where you end up with 1 point for each team or something. Both maps have their own points awarded to them, so it doesn't matter for the league. We have those 10 teams, one of them being Penta, one of them being Gamers2, but there are others like Virtus.pro, Property, Navi, Dignitas, Flipside, Copenhagen Wolves, Hellraisers and Mousesports. Currently Virtus.pro is sitting on the top with 24 points out of 10 matches. They have only 2 losses. Property is right next to them with 24 points as well, and Navi is in the 3rd spot. So Penta, on the other side, is sitting at the 2nd last spot with 10 games and only 3 wins. So the games that they have won are 1 map against Copenhagen Wolves, 1 map against Navi, and 1 map against Dignitas. The other ones have failed horribly, especially against Flipside, a game that I expected to be closer, and it's 16-6 in favor of Flipside on Inferno and 16-8 in favor of Nuke on Nuke for Flipside. So the knife should start soon. I'm of course glad to bring you all the action today. I had to step down yesterday because my girlfriend had a surgery and I had to take care of her, so Meter stepped in for me. Thanks again to him. Now let's talk about Mirage for a second. Gamers2 played it in 36% of their matches. Their win percentage is almost 50-50. To be exact, it's 47%. Now they have 3 wins and 6 losses. So it's how did they end up with a 47% win percentage? Isn't that exactly 33%? Well, I have to talk to hltv.org about that. But talking about Penta, for example, they have played the map as well, and they have won 8 out of 14 matches, so their win percentage is a little higher right now. And considering their latest results, for example, Copenhagen Wolves managed to bring them down on Mirage 14-16. Then on the other side, they had a really good showing against Navi with a 16-5 win. On the other side, Gamers2 lost against Kick with a 16-14 scoreline on Mirage, and they have lost 16-6 against Penta in the EPL group stage. I think this map should go to Penta. The second map is another story. It's going to be Nuke, a map that both teams didn't play too regularly. But let's talk about Nuke when Nuke is actually coming up. Knife round live between the two teams. Penta needs to pick up a few more wins to get higher in the ranking, but Gamers2 could actually have a shot at getting further and achieve the 6th spot of the playoffs. The 6 top teams of the league will move on to play the playoffs and duke it out for the $15,000 that are up for grabs for the first place. So Gamers2 are actually in the 6th place right now. The same points as Flipside and Copenhagen Wolves though. A double map win would help them a big bunch. Penta win the knife round and they start on the CT side. It's the obvious choice to make. And there is actually no real magic. I think on Mirage it's the same for every team. I have barely seen any team voluntarily start on the terrace side on Mirage. There are a few teams that, for example, pick terrace side on maps like Dust 2, which is more balanced, or Overpass maybe, or maybe even Cobble in the future. But for maps like Cache and Mirage, it's always the same story. The CT side is way more easier to play, and it's easier to get into the game if you start on the downhill side. Penta now, the Germans in the piss round against Gamers2. Let's see what the terrorists decide to buy. There is a possibility to pick up a Tech 9. And let's see if they will go for it. Doesn't seem like it. Or maybe Mishu will pick it up. We already have a pause. What is going on? Speedy decided to go AFK. Well, yeah, no comment on that. It seemed to be very, very much needed. Very much needed? Yeah, you know how much it was needed when I say it was very much needed. The toilet break. Suddenly he realized, oh, I forgot to pee. How could I forget? No, I think there was something wrong with his hardware. Maybe his cable, his mouse cable was at the wrong position or something like that. Now everybody is ready to go. Let's see if Gamers2 can upset the Penta fans. 72% voted for Penta on CSGO Lounge and the rest for Gamers2. So the clear underdogs in the eyes of the community in CSGO Lounge are the Poles today. The Poles start off with a 5-man stack in front of the A bomb site. The CTs give the bomb site to them. NKJ is the only one to spot in there. Dennis will now get back on the bomb site to take a quick peek, but he will most likely retreat back into the deeper parts of the site to stay alive for the retake. The CTs are going for the retake play. Everybody stays away. Nobody pushes through the smoke. Disciplined play by Penta and Gamers2 with the bomb plan, but NKJ with the headshot onto Mishu. Now he gets pushed by Mouse. It should have been a little earlier. The push into CT spawn is so crucial for Gamers2. They should have made it happen a little bit earlier. Now Crystal gets the better of Sparrow. Speedy with a straight headshot onto Mouse, and Innocent is the only terrorist to be able to reply with a frag of himself. And, well, I excluded Mouse for a second there, who took NKJ down in CT spawn, but only 2 frags for the terrorists. Penta with a very controlled looking CT pissed around. They play disciplined, as I said, when the take was happening, and they retook the bomb site together, which is a crucial point. If Gamers2 could have isolated a few more players in CT spawn, for example, it could have been way worse for the CTs, or way harder to retake actually. Like that, it was more or less easy looking for Penta. Now the anti-eco round, the terrorists with a full save due to the bomb plant in the first round. They rather buy up everything they can in the following round, and they just rush into the A bomb site, being hosed down by Nex and company 2-0 in favor of Penta. And Gamers2 with a full AK buy. The CT's money is not looking too good right now. They usually need a few more rounds to build it up, but they know that they are up against the AK buy, so they decided to put as many rifles in their hands as possible. FAMAS for Crystal, a late pickup on that, and a brute mid-exchange. Next comes out on top of that with a P90 double kill. NKJ with one as well. It's a 2v3 situation already in favor of the CTs. One of the terrorists has been spotted in middle. Sparrow takes Next down, but Dennis is there to recapitalize and make it 2-1 on the play account. Of course, Innocent is now inching forward on B short. He doesn't have anyone in window, but he has somebody in the A bomb site, and he goes for the full spray. Crystal's down to 42 HP, but he didn't manage to kill him. Now the CTs know where he's at. They can adjust their positions, and there's somebody waiting for him in the B bomb site. Not anymore though. Innocent with a headshot onto Dennis on the spray. He seems to like the AK recoil a lot. He puts down the bomb with his 27 remaining HP. Tries to get into kitchen, which would be a good position to defend the bomb from. And Crystal just on the retake, checking out B apartments. Nothing there. He pushes further. Innocent, of course, heard him. Now Crystal tries to go for the cheeky defuse. Let's see what Innocent is up. Oh, Innocent does know where Crystal is, and he sprays him down, wins the 2v1 situation, and makes it 2-1. Gamers2 are right back in the game after giving away the pistol and the following save round, which was a default win more or less for Penta. The Gamers2 with a 5 AK buy, and thanks to Innocent's 2v1 clutch, they are looking at a very good start on the terrorist side. They have made it very hard for the CTs to buy up. Speedy only with a 5-7, 2 FAMASs for NKJ and Crystal. And the Poles are lining up the A bomb site execution once again. Seems to be their kind of go-to strategy until it fails majorly. In my opinion, that's a good kind of style to start it off on the terrorist side. Find a strategy that works, stick to it until it fails, then try something different. Mishu with the first kill onto NKJ, who was inside the A bomb site completely alone. Nobody was there to back him up. But Speedy finds himself the headshot onto Innocent. Doesn't kill him though. He's down to 14 HP. The CT's on the retake. Gamers2 need to hold on to that. Mouse makes it a little bit easier with a headshot onto Nex. 3v5. The CT still committed to this retake. They could actually go to save that FAMAS and the M4A1, but they want to make it happen. Dan is there with one. Speedy puts down Mouse, and suddenly this kind of slips away from the terrorist 2v3 situation. The CTs loses some more players, and finally the crossfire seems to work for Miniz and Mishu. Gamers2 draw the game at 2, but it was fairly close in this previous round. It shouldn't have been as close as it was, considering the terrorist position. They had a lot of time to make their positions even better by setting up numerous crossfires and stuff like that. Somehow Penta managed to slip through and get into the thicker things of the action. In the end, Miniz and Mishu won the round for Gamers2. And now the CTs are back on a full save. Should be an easy pickup for the terrorists. They go for the extra safe play with flash into middle, checking that out at first. Capturing the middle is crucial for the terrorists in the gun rounds mainly, but they decide to go for the same strategy in the pistols. They have the range working for them basically. The P250s are still capable of doing a lot of damage, but they shouldn't be able to take you down in a straight headshot, you know. And that's what the terrorists abuse at first. And now they're pushing into the B bomb site, and there are 3 CTs waiting for them. The bomb is the first one to enter the bomb site, and Dennis is there in a cheeky spot. Speedy is there to kind of make it happen and draw the terrorists closer. Speedy down to 3 HP. Now the CTs have 4 players on the B bomb site. One is coming in from behind as well, as Innocent and Sparrow quickly dispose of the first 2 CTs. Another one goes down to Mouse, and suddenly it's a 1v5. NKJ is coming in from behind with a USP, but he's way too far away to threaten the bomb plant. The Sparrow has no hard time collecting that bomb plant, and Innocent will put NKJ out of his misery. 3-2 in favor of Gamers2. Good showing on the terror side on Mirage. Maybe punished me lying already, but I said that the Penta performance against Copenhagen Wolves on Mirage was questionable. With a 14-16 loss in the Go Champions League game, the Germans kind of surprised me, to be honest. But Copenhagen Wolves had a Cillian to step it up majorly for them. He did such a good job in this Mirage game particularly, that I don't want to take away anything from the Penta squad. Now they have a rifle round coming up, and they need to make it happen. If Gamers2 can force them to save one more round, it should be, or it could be, the end of the game basically. If Gamers2 get to 5 rounds this early in the half, they could easily make it 6-9, maybe even 8-7 on the terrorist side. I mean 9-6 and 8-7 in favor of the CTs still, but the terrorists would have had a massive cushion to work with in the second half. Now the Germans in a fairly defensive hold. Nobody's going out for the peaks. Now Dennis checks connected, checks apartments, checks front of A. Doesn't spot anyone right now, so the CTs could guess that it's a B go. And they decide to pull Dennis back deeper into window room. Now Dennis actually committed to the rotation. It's the right call to make right now. The terrorists have all the people lined up for the execution. Minis is flashed to death. He needs to slow down. Lets his teammate jump in alone. And actually, they're getting back to B short. What a great play by Gamers2 to actually swing back to the A bomb site. Unnoticed by the CTs, but now Penta makes up for that with a few frags. Innocent is down to 32 HP. Now Minis puts Crystal down in middle. And everything worked out perfectly up until to this point as Speedy steps it up with a double kill in the A bomb site, gets himself to hit the triple in the round. Next and Speedy on the retake against Minis, who's sitting in connector now. He's spotted already, but he puts Next down with a headshot. The bomb is getting defused though. Speedy is on the defuse now. He aborted that thanks to the nade by Minis, and the pole will play the clock. No question about that. He steps out and pushes Speedy over the edge. 4-2 in favor of Gamers2. What a great execution of the strategy. But what a great showing by Speedy to keep it together and make it a 1v1 in the end. That was really close for Penta, but Gamers2 prevailed with their very nice strategy. They seemed like they committed to the B bomb set. They sent one back through B, through B short, you know, and executed through middle on the A bomb site, which is really cheeky for them. Now Michu with the first against Next in this anti-eco round for Gamers2. Doesn't seem to be a problem for them to take care of that, but look at Crystal taking Sparrow out with a cheeky one shot of the P250. Just sliding across the corner, getting that headshot makes it a little bit better for the CTs. They are worrying about the economy right now. They need to do something about the terrorists' money, and you know, just dealing those small blows will hurt them in the long run and just keep them from building up more money. Now Minis knows that the CTs will hunt for him. He's down to 12 HP. He knows that they will call that out, and he retreats safely into the B apartments. Good play by Minis to stay alive in the situation. Could have turned out a little different if he wasn't as cautious in the underpass. But the CTs only get... Well, did they get a frag? I didn't even pay attention to that. It was no real question about... yeah, they did get the frag on Crystal, of course. Did get that one shot, but there was not much happening except for that. Gamers2 with the 5th round on the board. Now the first AWP for Crystal. He did a good job in the previous matches. And even though Dennis picks it up quite regularly as well, they kind of share the duty on the big gun. Let's see if Crystal is hot enough to carry the Penta squad to their 3rd round and possibly even more rounds. He spotted the first players in middle, but now he needs to retreat. He knows that there's somebody coming in up close from underpass. He retreats into window room, tries to reset his angle as Next works on B apartments. There's nothing to spot for him, but he's got one terrorist on the other side of that smoke. Dennis puts down Minis in connector, making it a 4v5, but no. Not too much to worry about for the terrorists. They are still in position for the B go. And Sparrow holds Speedy and Next inside the bomb site for his teammates to have an easier go in middle. And Mouse and his teammate are wasting a lot of time over there. 35 seconds on the clock, 32 now. And Innocent with the headshot onto Crystal opens up the A bomb site. Suddenly, Gamers2 need to question their approach. They kind of need to sell the fake to the A bomb site. Otherwise, they wouldn't get the bomb over there in time. And the CTs have called the bluff. They are there on the B bomb site. NKJ with one, Next with one as well. Sparrow works his way around the CTs, flanks them, and takes down one. Michu racks up another one. Good play by Gamers2. 2 players surviving in this after-plan position, but NKJ is coming in from kitchen and he's got 9 HP and 11 HP to work against. The positions will be crucial for the terrorists. If they can catch NKJ with a double, you know, in a 2v1 situation, they could get out on top. If they catch him in single 1v1s, he should be able to take it. And Sparrow has the right timing, catches NKJ as he checks out B short. And the 6-2 is reality for Gamers2 right now. Really good showing by them. Seems like exchanging Rellen has kind of sparked the fire right now. Minis came back into the squad. after Minis was removed in favor of Michoud. Now Raylan got removed in favor of Minis. Just to give you a small heads up. The same kind of goes for Penta. It's only an anti-eco round, so we'll just talk about those basic stuff right now. They had Struxy. They qualified for the next major with him. No, actually not with him. Struxy didn't actually play the major. He was removed before that even. Then Troubly came in. They played the major with Troubly. And they removed Troubly after that. Oh, come on, that's not real, is it? And they played the major with Troubly. And removed Troubly after the major to get NKJ. So, while I was dribbling away, 3 terrorists lost their lives in the exchange with the CT, so there was quite some economical damage dealt by Penta. And they are buying up. Look at Dennis now holding the AWP. Crystal said, okay, I didn't get too many frags so far. Let's see how you're doing in this matchup. Michoud with the first, and Nex is up close in middle, only gets 1 frag out of there. He had no support, no additional support. So it's a 4v3 in favor of the terrorists. Innocent and Mouse are down to roughly 60 HP. And Penta need to make up for that bad middle push that they started off with. Mouse goes to work on Dennis. Crystal is left alone with Speedy, and Mouse will remove Crystal from the occasion. Speedy is in CT spawn, and he's not allowed to step into the A bomb site by Sparrow. 8-2 in favor of Gamers2 already. What a massive scoreline for the terrorists right now. 13 frags for Innocent, 10 frags for Michoud. On the other side we have 8 for Dennis and 6 for NKJ and Nex. And another save round coming up for the CTs. Their money is just not getting out of their infantile status, more or less. It can't grow up. Now, look at that. Oh, well, auto-director at its best. Minis and Michoud get it back after the CTs got the first 2 opening frags. Dennis got his hands on an AK. Could turn south for the terrorists if they don't watch it. Dennis has that 1 terrorist isolated, but Minis gets the better of him. Now it's Crystal against Minis, and Crystal gets that frag, makes it a 2v2 again, and he doesn't know if there is any more terrorist action around, so he takes his time, checks everything before he picks that AK up. Now he finds himself some opposition in short. Nex is not able to help him out a little bit if he doesn't want to give up that position that he's in. Nex can't help his teammate now. Nex with the wounding shots onto Michoud isn't able to take him down though. It's a 2v1. Crystal without armor jumps up onto B shot. Might be his unexpected kind of angle of approach that gets him out on top, but they smoke him off already, and he realizes that there's no real reason to push any further. Rather give the round to the terrorists, save that AK, and get the decent buy round in the next one. Loser bonus is massive for the CTs, and it will help them purchase weapons, even though it's not enough to rebuy them every single round. It will be enough to get a buy. Every buy every second round. Crystal still able to get 1, and he's he doesn't stay alive. Mouse with a jumping pistol shot in the end. Crystal gets denied, but Penta is still able to buy everything they want to. And, well, the loser bonus makes them stop worry about the money, but it should make them worry about the scoreline. 9 rounds for Gamers2 right now. The CTs are simply not up to the challenge right now. Gamers2 with a double push through underpass. Minis is covering them from above, and Dennis gets out on top of that exchange in top middle. That's the kind of first frag that the CTs need to get back in this game. They now have the edge. They just need to work on that favor. Oh, Michoud with the counter boost. 2 towers taking on each other. Michoud with the headshot onto Dennis, but Michoud gets killed by Crystal straight away, so it's a 3v4 again. Mouse is down to 33 as well, and Sparrow down to 51. The terrorists are not in control of any major parts of the map except for maybe even the A bomb site. Look at Innocent pushing in. He should have heard the CT on his left. Turns around a little late but gets the kill. Then NKJ is there to reply and leaves Mouse alone for the Gamers2 squad to make something happen. 40 seconds on the clock. He knows that there's one more CT on the A bomb site. He should have a rough guess where he could be. And he finds NKJ inside the A bomb site. That flash is a little bit too obvious, but NKJ still uses the moment that he created, that Mouse needed to turn around. NKJ capitalized on that small second that Mouse was not on target and made it a third round for Penta. And it was mandatory to win this round. It's mandatory to win the remaining rounds for the CTs if they want to make something happen in the second half. And Gamers2 should feel very confident pushing into those sites. Almost everything they tried worked out perfectly for them. And mainly it was those opening exchanges that made them come out on top of the rounds. You know, when the CTs push up into middle and you end up with a 3v2 situation after that push was unsuccessful for the CTs, you can basically do whatever you like on the terrorist side. Look at that Molotov go by the terrorists. Good work with the flames, drawing out NKJ into a weak position, taking him out, making it a 5v4. Dennis is completely flash. He just sprays away. Now Sparrow knows that there's a CT around. He pushes through. Dennis still flash. No chance at all. Gamers2 with perfect executions on Mirage, making it a 4v1 thanks to Mouse and Sparrow once again. It is Speedy alone with 9 HP. And he's in CT spawn, cut off from his saving positions by Sparrow, who's in window room already, and Mouse will relieve him of his duty. 10-3. What a great execution it was by Gamers2. They Molotoved the balcony, they Molotoved this position and this position to draw NKJ out into this angle. They pushed in, they knew that the CTs could only be here, and they had that smoked off, so it was perfectly planned by the terrorists. And as I said before, almost everything they try works out perfectly right now. Penta on a save again. Innocent with the first onto Dennis. Oh, Michu catches a bullet there. Wonders for a second, then just sprays away onto Speedy. Minis is there, almost gets team killed by that nade. The terrorists kind of get ahead of each other, almost taking themselves out, but in the end they end up in a 4v2. This could still turn south though. Minis and Michu are a one hit, one kill position. Innocent makes it look better for the terrorists, and Sparrow is now down to 3 HP as well, but there's no more CTs around to take him out. So Gamers2 make it 11-3. It's still the first map though, and it was Penta's map pick. Nuke is Gamers2's map pick, but the last result of Penta on Nuke was an 8-16 loss on flip side. So we would expect Gamers2 to be better, but Gamers2's result against Flipside was a 6-16 on Nuke. So both teams performed equally as bad against Flipside. We can't say anything about the second map at this stage. Dennis with the refrag after Innocent took Crystal out already. That AWP exchange in favor of the pole. Penta now back in a 4v4. They have 3 players tucked into the A bomb site. Dennis is there and he's already countered by Mouse. Oh, what a timing. Luck by Dennis. He turned around at the right moment to spot Mouse in connected. Just walked back, casually taking him out. Now Speedy drops the bomb in A apartments. Finally something for Penta to work with. Even though the round didn't start off perfectly, they got the refrag courtesy of Dennis, and then they kind of ran into 2 terrorists in weird positions that they could singly take out without anyone taking the refrag. So Innocent and Sparrow in a 2v4. Sparrow makes that a 3v2, but only for a second as the CTs come back right at the terrorists, and the last round of this first half ends in favor of Penta, but a small consolidation considering they only have 4 rounds on the CT side. The terrorists did a perfect job in this first half. Even though the rounds have been quite quite close at times. You see that was a 1v1, a 1v2, a 1v1, a 1v2, a 1v2, and a 1v1. So you can tell that it could have turned the other way if those 1vx situations ended in favor of Penta. But let's see what the Germans are able to do on the terrorist side. I now clearly favor Gamers2. And I think there are a few people biting their nails right now. The CT's on the push into B apartments to gain some information. The terrorists have 2 players over at A and 3 at B. Actually, the bomb carrier is more or less not committed to middle or B. He can take either route. Innocent with the first frag onto A apartments. What a good frag there onto Dennis with the USP. NKJ is left alone in front of the A bomb site. He already gets spammed at, and Innocent takes the time to actually push into middle. This could be crucial. Innocent gets flanked by the terrorist, but he gets the right angle now. He's kind of covered from middle by the boxes and covered from back of middle by the boxes, depending on which position he takes. He's reinforced though by Michoud as Innocent goes down. Michoud is there taking down one, going down to Crystal. In the end, it's a 1v2. Minis and Mouse know that the terrorist is around middle. Missy doesn't overextend. He stays in his position, lets his teammate do the job that he's designed to do, slowing the terrorist down, taking away his attention, and then Minis is coming in from behind. Great team play by Gamers2 in the 1v2. Didn't allow Crystal to make it a 1v1 by simply saying simple stuff like retreat, now go, attack, something like that. You know, if one player takes charge of the action and just tells his teammate what to do, it's way easier to adjust each other to the gameplay of the other person. Now, first round in favor of Gamers2. They make it to the 12th round, and they have the rifles to work against this reinforced by Tech-9s and a scout for the terrorists, but not too much work done for them. They only get 1 frag. And now he goes down to Mouse in the end. Innocent overextended a little bit, but there's not too much harm. 23 frags for him, so he feels kinda hot. He wanted to get his 24th frag against Crystal. So Gamers2 within reach of 3 rounds to finish Penta off on their map pick. It is a best of 2, so whoever wins this map gets 3 points. The second map gives the winner 3 points as well. CSGO Launch will handle the affair like a best of 3 that gets drawn. As Penta just move into the A bomb site, they get 1 frag courtesy of Nex. I thought it could have been a different turn of events as the terrorists were getting in there almost uncontestedly. But in the end, it's Innocent shutting them down. 14-4. If the game should get drawn, you know, if Penta win this one and Gamers2 win the second one, or the other way around, then your skins will get returned. That's just so you know. Now Penta with the first rifle round, they need to get this round. There's no chance for them if they don't manage to pick it up. Nex and company will start off with middle control, or at least not middle control yet, but they try to take middle control. They have a 4-man squad committed to that. NKJ will move in from below, his 2 teammates from above, and together they will take Innocent apart. Good job by Penta capturing middle. Now they need to get something else done on top of that. They took a peek into window, but it got smoked off, so now they are still hanging out in the middle waiting for the smoke to dissolve. The CTs are hanging around like sharks, gathering for the feast. Now Michoud gets the first one, gets another bite, and another one for Michoud. 3 kills, swiftly taking it into the CT's hands in middle. Great position by Michoud, and that was just simply good timing, good aim, everything combined. 15-4 in favor of game. Penta was not able to swim in the shark tank. They simply got munched up by the poles. Now a autoscope for Sparrow and a first frag on Innocent. Dennis on the push to be short with his Galil in his hands, so the terrorists should try to get back there, but they don't waste any time. They are lined up for the A execution. They have 3 Tech 9s and a Uzi to work with, and they will smoke off the A bomb site, try their luck one more time. They need to get it done, and they need to string together quite a few rounds. They already get spotted by the CT, pushing them in their back. It should be Michu there. And now Penta gets pushed into the A bomb site basically by the backstabber. Innocent is there. Another flash kill. Just desperately trying to get something done is the terrorist squad, and they won't achieve anything anymore. 16-4 in favor of Gamers2. What a sick match. You can check the stats if you enter !stats in the chat. There will be a link that you can click on and check out the stats of the games. And I thank you for tuning in. The second map will be coming up right now.